cover that area with some spring static grass. Now I need a touch more. Oops, I need a touch more glue. Just mix up some more watery glue, a bit of paint water. That's not the right one. Oh, it is. Mix a bit of PVA in with it. And then with my dropper that I've just completely mislaid. Where have I put it? Oh, it's there. Sorry. Draw up some of that glue into this syringe. Now I'm going to liberally coat this top area with some watered down PVA. I'll switch from my green grass to some dead grass. Hello, I'm just putting some grass down on this bit of scenic bank. I'll tip some of that down. Thank you. This is a different type. That was spring grass, this is now dead grass. So I'm mixing a different type of grass in with what I've already put down. This is just and to change it so it's not as uniform looking. Let me come up a bit higher. I did get my pizza, yes thanks Wayne. I'm now full of Meat Feast pizza. Very nice. Just got a bit more here. It comes in a little, well, I've put it in a little tub. They're just little fibres that you can load the applicator with. So I just wanted to make sure I'd got a mix of different types of grasses on. As we go up the banking, it just gets a bit drier looking. And it doesn't matter if some of the soil shows through. I think it's a good thing for the soil to show in. I'm just not so sure how much grass we've got right down in this bottom bit, so I'm not going to put any in there just yet. Just pick up most of that excess so we don't waste it. Don't know where that piece of glue come from. I can do, I haven't done any yet, but that's not to say I won't do. Oh dear. I was going to make a drink before I came over here. Good evening, Dave. You just missed me putting a bit of grass down. And having a nice little coughing fit. Just missing some green bush foliage. Where's my tubs gone? Not that one. And not that one either. Bear with me a minute. I'm missing a tub. Where have they all gone? Sorry for talking to myself. Well, that's odd. I did have another tub with some foam in it. Can't find it. Never mind, I'll work on something else. Can't do exactly what I wanted to do just then. I'll spin this whole thing back round again. You know, you should be able to tell from that angle that I've now grassed the far bank there. As in hobby, I've been doing it about 14, 15 years. 24k, yes. That happened earlier today. Pardon me. Just going to put the bus on, disappearing up the hill. So yes, the grass has been added onto that far bank there. Now I can move the shed back. Shed goes around about there, I think. Some work to be done on that yet. Since I came on last, I've added some vegetation around the edge that needs a bit of attention yet. Oh, bus just went flying off. Just went flying off the screen. I should find the tub I was looking for. Where is it? Oh. Never mind for now. Right, sorry, let's get back to this. Right, I'm going to add some more foliage now to these low shrubs. Let's just come in a little bit. Poor cow, yes I know, cow down. Cow keeps wandering all around. Cow's back up again now. Let's get some... No, let's not. Didn't work. Let's try again. I need to seal that grass down, foliage down, then I can perhaps do what I was going to do. Get my syringe in. Is that a body under the window? Yes, it is. Poor lady's fallen over. So when I finished, these go to the new owners. This is actually a commission piece. So the owner of the landlord, the owner of the pub, the landlord, has commissioned me to build this. And it will be going up to Hexhamshire when I've done. Excuse my arm. I'm just going to put a drop of alcohol . I can show you the foam board that I used to make the models, yeah, just a minute. I'm just going to squirt some of this alcohol onto the foam. That's going to make sticking the glue on easier. Just dousing that with alcohol to make the glue easier to apply. So this is the board that I use to make the models. It's a white Foamex foam board that you can just scratch into. If you just give me a minute, I'll try and find the photograph, or one of the photographs. Yeah, you could just Google it, get dipped and mill in, but I might have something on screen that shows you what I'm modelling. That's the inn that I'm modelling there. That's the view from that side. As Jade suggested, if you have a look on Google Maps or Google Earth, you should be able to see it. I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to last tonight because this cough's getting worse. So now I've coated it in alcohol, the glue will dissolve into it better, or soak into it better. Excuse me. Right, now I'm going to add a few bits of this leaf texture. And I think I've just made an absolute error. I've completely forgotten that there's a pathway coming across here, so I'll just scrape some of that to one side because I'm going to have to embed a pathway in. A little bit more of that will help the glue soak in. We'll just do another mound of leaves or two. So dropping some diluted PV on there should seal it in place. What's the cost of this one? It's a good amount, Paul. Yes, Grace. They're all commission pieces, so this will be going to its new owner when it's done. Right, I just want to add a little bit of scenery at the back here, just to try and give it a bit of a break. So let's soak this with PVA all the way along the back. I'm going to add some scenic foam up here. Scatter a bit down the hill as well for a bit more realism. Lots and lots on. Now I'm going to have to get the foam back out again. Thank you, Rainforest. Oh my goodness. So that was just my little syringe device picking up some alcohol. What I'm doing here. If I just squeeze this onto it, it means the glue will soak into it when I put it on in a minute, rather than just sitting on the surface. Okay there, let's put that to one side. put some more of that leaf scatter over the top. There we go. Sorry if I'm missing conversations here. I'm just getting someone to see me on and working up quickly. Just keep sorting. You'll get there. And who knows? You'll be back to making massive dioramas again. How's the dog doing? Yes, he was a little bit poorly. Sorry. He's still not quite right, but he's a lot better than he was. He's able to sort of not run, but move around a bit better now. So I'm just reading back some of the comments. Yeah, I deliver sometimes if I'm needed to. Well, most of the time. I reckon this will be finished this week. I've just got I'm adding just some extra scenic details now, and then I've got this brew house part to finish, and then the whole area in front of it. I've got the beer garden, pagoda, decking area to add in. But yeah, I reckon it's going to be about another week. Yeah, thank you. That's an actual photographic scene in the background, but it just does help. Now I completely forgot what I was going to do. What was I going to do next? Need to add a bit of vegetation to the back of here, so I'm going to put some glue in. It's not the best glue for using this wood glue because it just trails off, but the first fix it'll be fine. Pathway, yes, I need to put the bridges in as well. I might start making the bridges, but I need to refer back to my photograph to see where that pathway goes, because I can't remember. I'm just doing a bit that you can't see behind the wall here. Bit of shrubbery, and then that does continue up the wall and over it, so I squeeze some super glue onto the tops. I'm going to persuade it to grow over the top, maybe a little into the roadway. This alcohol mix coming out of this syringe is just to soak into the foliage, which enables me to squeeze glue onto it without it pooling. And the glue just fixes it in place. It's basically just dilute PVA that I'm just squeezing on. Vegetation is just soft ground foam. For this bit anyway. I do use other bits and pieces sometime. Jacob, I've been doing this, well, I've been model making for about 15 years now. This piece I've been working on for the last 3 weeks. A bit more alcohol to soak into there. Just want to make sure it's all fixed. And then a bit more glue if I can. Oops, sorry for that. Oh, it looks a little bit wet now, but it will soak in nicely. Right, just bear with me a second, I'm just trying to shake some coloured pieces of sawdust out. In here I've got some wooden shavings that I've dyed red. I'm going to use those as, I'm going to finely sieve it and use those as flower heads for some shrubs. I've got orange and I've got red. And just move some stuff out of the way. Just going to bring a bit of colour into the garden here. As you can see, I've got some nicely fine sieved sawdust here, and I'm just going to sprinkle some on in places, and I'll do the same with the orange that I've got. It just adds a bit of interest and colour to the garden instead of it all being green. There we go. Sorry, missing all the conversation. The cow done it. No, it doesn't. The PVA just soaks in. PVA just soaks in, so I'm not too bothered about that at all. Right, it might be time to make a couple of bridges. Let me just scrape that clear. I'm going to need some PVA, not PVA, I'm going to need some 1mm mix down for this bit. Oops, daisy. Thank you. Right, first thing I need to do is sand the PVA, I can't even speak now. Sand the foam mix down. to measure how wide the bridge is going to be. It's a touch wider. Yes, I'm sorry about the earthquake. At least I'm not nudging the camera very often at the moment. More earthquake. Okay, that's that one. About wide enough. Just need to mark how long it needs to be now. Talking about there. Let me just zoom down. They could if they wanted to, but I don't think my client's on TikTok. I've told him about it, but he, in fact, since I told him about it, he hasn't responded. I think he's extremely busy at the moment. It's funny because he was chasing me a while ago about whether I'd started his model or not, and since I started it, he hasn't done very much chasing. Yes, she's got fed up, gone to sleep. She was talking to the cow earlier, but Daisy wasn't interested. Just straighten that up. I've realised it wasn't quite square. Right, I just need to scribe some plank details into this bridge deck now. Which I'll show you in a minute when I've scribed it. One thing I should be doing really is painting the roof so it's quite drying. So that's the plank detail scribed in. Where are Little People from? I don't know where this one came from. I just obtained it. But there are lots of suppliers if you search for it. It might be a oh, I can't think. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I can't think of where you can get them from. The best supplier for model figures is somewhere called Model U, MODELU, as in the letter U. They make very photorealistic. I don't paint now, I just got them. Yes, there is a ghost in the house. and just adding this support plank joist underneath. Oops. Yes, it's in the front left bedroom of the main part. Super Glue's playing up again. Yeah, it's in there. You can't quite see where I'm pointing to, can you? But no, it's not visible from here, unfortunately. You can't see it through the window anymore now since the roof got painted. When it was still white, there was a little bit of reflection showing, and you could see the interior, but you can't see it anymore. Right, so this is the beginnings of the bridge deck. This one's going to go over there. I just need to make another one. Same width, length, I mean. Use my cutting mat as a grid. Yeah, if I could find a torch I might give it a look and see if I could see the ghost still. But yes, it's it's hidden away at the moment. I'm just going to make another bridge. No, I'm not. I forgot to scribe it. It's a good job I checked then, isn't it? Forgot to scribe the deck. Now I've done it. Waiting list is about 24 months at the moment. I'm trying my best to speed up and get the waiting list down. Thank you for the gift. Yes, 2 years. It's because I've got about 12 on the list at the moment, and my my sort of speed is currently about two months for a house, but this one has only taken me, well, it's taken me less than 3 weeks so far, so hopefully things will speed up and I can get that waiting list down. And this one's quite a big one. Fingers are getting stuck to it instead of it sticking where it's supposed to. Come on, stick. Yes, it probably is one of the biggest. And that's it's not the size of the house, it's just like as Lit Jade said there, it's the size of the overall plot. Because the building itself isn't huge, but the land it occupies is. When you compare it with the demo model that I made, which will fit on an A4 base. Right, that's now glued, thankfully. now going to make some upright posts. The first two need to be, on this one anyway, need to be 2mm. Find a more suitable piece to use. I'm just going to cut a couple of fence posts for the wall. And this is out of 2mm Foamex. Just got covered in static grass. Captions, I've no idea. Just a minute, let me have a look. Do you know, Jade, if I can put captions on? Thank you, TikToker. Laura, I've no idea how you do it. Can you do it your end? No. Settings. I can't figure out how to do it my end, I'm afraid. For those thinking I'm just doing this as a hobby because I've got nothing else to do, I do this for a partial living. This is a second income stream, and I do work a full-time job as well. So yeah, I'm sorry, I've no idea how to do the captions. Can I double check the what that bridge looks like? I can't remember if there were 3 posts or just one either side. And there's a very odd, not odd, but there's a complex bridge at the other side that I'm going to have to tackle. Just bear with me a minute. It's going to bug me now whether there's 1 post or 3. Sorry, 2 posts or 3. He sent me a video the other day which showed it. Four, actually. So it's a good job I checked. Well, thank you very much. Oops. Sorry, I just had to check that then. yes, the backdrop is actually it's actually the home valley where I live. So it's just a bit behind. Well, it's not that far away from my house. It's about a 5-minute walk. No, scratch that. It's about a 20-minute walk from where I live, and it's sort of looking over the Home Firth, New Mill, towards Derbyshire area. I took the photo a few years ago. Whereabouts do you live then, Kelly Louise? Buxton. I'm the. You'll be the other side of the hills kind of thing. Then I'm this side. I'm in Huddersfield in West Yorkshire. But that view's looking over that kind of way. Just get this in camera a bit. The PTSD is all gone. Oh, that's good. Please stay upright. I used to live in Meltham as well, strangely enough, on Wessenden Head Road, if you're familiar with it. Back in the early to mid-80s. Stand up. I know it's leaning. I'll put it right in a minute. Oh, hey, Jaden. Thank you for asking. It's absolutely fine. It is. Sometimes it can be a bit mature content, but it's not just designed for adults. So thank you for popping along and showing an interest. It's mostly from photos. I haven't been to this one, but I will be going to visit it when I've finished, because I'm going to go personally drop the model off. Most of the time, work is done just from reference photographs. Thank you for the gifts. Much appreciated, my friends. Don't feel you have to, but it's absolutely 100% appreciated. I'm just going to make a couple little top rails first. You can see this Foamex is extremely static. It just picks up the... Oh, it's a very good question. No, this is slightly bigger. This is 1/76 scale. And don't worry, there's no such thing as a stupid question or a silly question. I think it's going to be better if I accurately measure this and then drop it on first. I'll just have a little bit of an overhang. Just tilt it down a bit better. Yeah, we do. We welcome all questions. More the merrier. It helps break the silence as well. Sometimes when I'm concentrating, it it all goes a little quiet. Sometimes when I'm concentrating it all goes a little bit wrong as well. Very good at sticking my fingers to it instead of the model. Now my biggest task is to try and square all these up. Before the glue sets. That's one. Oh, she's gone again, hasn't she? She doesn't like it when I sand things down. She tends to go a bit strange. I need some debonder for my fingers. Which one's which? I think I actually glued the wrong rail on. Try this again one by one. This is extremely fiddly. Good evening, anyone. I'm sorry if I might not necessarily see it while I attempt to glue this rail on. It's sticking to everything apart from what it's supposed to do. I've only got to make another 2 bridges after this. The third one, sorry, is a nice fiddly arched bridge. Try and lay this on its side and do it instead. No, it's still not stuck. Come on. Super glue, do your worst. The noise you can hear in the background is my dog licking its paws. Again, like earlier, this isn't playing. Sticking everything but. Yes, I'm still at it. The entire thing. Just a minute. I just want to stick this bridge together, which has been fighting. Right, when I've done, that's going to stick on there. You can see. There's the doggy. He's not so bad. So that's a quick kind of view. Let me just go take you around the front, and then the front of the building goes up the hill like that. There's not enough room on the bench for me to properly spin it. But this is the bridge that I've just made that goes across the stream to that door. And then I've got an identical one to make for this other side now. Just got to remember which piece of foam I use now to cut the bridge supports with. Wasn't that? Thank you, Natasha. The other side doesn't have that thick support to start with. That's the thing. I've just remembered. Right, I need another 8 side brackets. I'll put those to one side because of a different size. No, Christine, unfortunately, I don't have the time to go to trade fair shows or even make something up to take there. I'm going to switch pieces because this is... Sorry, this has got too many marks on it from the other side. Yeah, I've thought about it in the past, and there's quite a few of my, should we say, competitors or people that do a similar thing do go to trade fairs. But they're model railway based, so they're sort of looking for model railway customers. But I find every spare moment I've got really is invested on completing current orders rather than trying to drum up new business. That doesn't sound too pompous. Yes, I use Google Earth if the client can't supply measurements to get a footprint size, and then because I know what doorways usually measure, I can scale things up from there. But if at all possible, I do ask the client to give me the actual measurements, and I can use supplied photographs to scale everything from. I just realised I've missed a detail off that first bridge. I'll do these planks, these supports first, and then I'll go back to that bridge detail that I've missed off. Beginning to wish I'd fact up now before I started, because there's grass fibres everywhere. Thank you very much. No, I'm a graphic designer, unless you're talking about something else. Thank you, Deborah. No, I don't use matchsticks. They're a little bit overscale, if you see what I mean, for this size. But I do use bamboo barbecue skewers for telegraph poles, which you've just reminded me I've got one to add to the front yet, which I've completely forgotten about till just now. Yeah, she's had a few too many. She's at the pub every day. She's taken over shifts, falling over shifts from Daisy. Daisy's upright until the next earthquake. She does like a pint of stout. Glue. Now I'm going to very carefully try and glue these cross beams on. Handrails or whatever they are. Handrails. Well, if the client was willing to, I would probably try and arrange to meet halfway. Because it's a long drive, even if I wanted to sort of personally deliver. But yeah, I'd still try and find a way of getting it over personally, whether it's a halfway or doing it all myself. But I've kind of abandoned the idea of trying to post something now because it's just not worth it. My first few models I did post, trusted the Royal Mail, and they did work. They got there in one piece, but I think that's more luck than management. As my models become bigger and more intricate, I think they need to be hand delivered. Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate each and every one of you. Last handrail piece. Covered in static grass. I'll have to make sure that comes off before I paint it. This is extremely fiddly. I think you might have noticed. There we go. Another bridge built. But one thing I did omit, were the side rail pieces. I'm going to make those out of card because they're a much thinner wood. Ping. Where did that go? There it is. There is indeed, and I plan on putting one in. The last photograph I got, the phone box was there, so it will be added. It's just down the back there. I can't at the moment spin it round to show you, but I have actually attempted to make the phone box. That's my first go at it. It still might work, but that's the phone box that's outside. So scale wise, it's like that big. And there's also a lamp that goes on the corner, which I'm going to make, as well as the bench. I'm just now seeing if 2 bars is enough or is it just 1. I think 2 bars might be overkill. I think it might just be 1. No, I think, well, he hasn't mentioned yes or no, but what I'm aiming for is adding as much to the scene as exists in real life. So by that token, there will be a phone box added if I can build it. The lamp is going to be extremely tricky, but it is kind of a focal point of the inn. Right, I am going to have to go for a short while because the missus is back home and I need to go and be attentive, find out how dropping my daughter off went. So thanks for joining in, guys. That's the bridge, and I'll be back soon.